Kaizer Nation, Sanbonan Bafetu, and welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQP. Now, on today's video, Bafetu in Petadinda Nandi, and also I have a question. I do have a question in terms of this new signing, but definitely before I dive more into the details and challenge look like a video look like a video. It's really important to like a video whether in the ziphlungu or zemnandi. But anyways, getting back to the video, Kaizer Chiefs actually Kaizer Chiefs from your post, one of my trusted sources has confirmed that Kaizer Chiefs have secured the services of Thembela Tera Maliwa. Now, he used to be a chief scout Lapana Mamelodi Sundowns. Looks like he's coming to Kaizer Chiefs currently as I'm speaking with you. He's going to be replacing someone we used to know. He was the chief scout Lapana Nashorena, Walter Steenberg. I think he was the chief scouting Lapana Nashorena. Now, currently with this new signing of this guy Bafetu, before I go more into the details, before I give you the question that I have, let's look at some of his work. Umsebenzi wakhe, I think, does speak for himself. He signed with Mamelodi Sundowns for 7 years, and in 7 years period, he's the reason why they had a player like Upesi Tao. He's the reason why they had a player like Augustin Sereno, which is currently with Kaizer Chiefs as I'm speaking with you. Abanye, I won't mention them because there's a lot of players. Some of them we might not know about them, but yeah, Pesi Tao, Augustin Sereno, some of the best players, and I'm happy even today they're still performing, even though we know about the situation in Pesi Tao. Now, taking a look at this guy Bafetu, umsebenzi wakhe, I think uyazikhulumela because he's one of the reason why a player like Teshrick Matthews progressed to Mamelodi Sundowns, Luke Leroux, Jaden Adams. We can see him currently Stellenbosch FC. He's promising for me, definitely. I think he's promising. Rivaldo, he's one of the defenders. He was involved in scouting in this Bafana Bafana. Now, taking a look at this guy Bafetu, I understand a lot of people are going to say Sundowns is giving us this guy because maybe they don't see like Agasanam Sebenzi just like before. But for me, I think I'm going to look at it on the positive side because I've seen the negative side. People are saying we're bringing this guy to Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs Gafana is going to sign also scout a player, but still we're not going to give a budget so that the team can sign those players that he's going to scout for. But for me, positive side, I think it's safe to say Oguti Amjeta is going to come at Nashorena with some of his contact, which we know Oguti Naganjani. He has some connections. It's not like umuntu oqalela phansi. He has some connections. When we've seen some of his best works, we as khulumela umsebenzi wakhe. So for me, I think I'm just going to look at this on the positive side. And then going back to something else, before I go to something else, which is Rushwin Dortley, I just want to ask you a question, Bafetu, in the comment section below. Is it a good signing for Thembela Tera Maliwa to be the chief scout Lapana Naturena? Please let me know what you think down in the comment section below. He's one of the reasons why Sundowns had Pesitao, Sundowns had Abu Rivaldo, Sundowns had who's this guy? Augustin Sereno currently kitching with us. And then also coming back to something new, something interesting. It looks like Hugo Bruce has finally named his final squad, which is going to be taking on Uganda on 6th of September, if I'm not mistaken. And I was waiting to see who are some of the players who are selected Lapana squad. So definitely Rushwin Dortley has selected and the players that Sababona preliminary squad abaseko, but at least Rushwin Dortley is still there and I'm happy with him. There are even some new familiar faces, but let me just give you this.
23 players for Uganda and South Sudan are the goalkeepers Ricardo Goss, Veli Motwa and Sifo Shane. Defenders Sidney Moby, Thembela Morena, Rushwin Dortley, Nkonsinati Sibisi, Aubrey Modiba, Kuliso Mudau, Fawaz Basadian, Siabonga Ngezana en Grant Kekana. Midfielders, Tebogo Mokoena, Jaden Adams, Spehelo Sitole en Talente Mbata. Strikers, Thembela Zwane, Oswin Apollis, Patrick Masongani, Ikram Reiners, Elias Mokwana, Lyle Foster, and Rele Bohile Mofokeng.
And ladies and gentlemen, and that is a confirmation of the 23-player squad that will represent South Africa in the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. A confirmation of those players once again going from the back, the goalkeepers, Ricardo Goss, Veli Motwa and Sipho Chain. Moving on into the defenders, Sydney Mobi, Thapelo Morena, Rushwin Dortley, Nkosinati Sibisi, Aubrey Modiba, Kuliso Mudau, Fawaz Basadian, Siabonga Ngezana, as well as Grant Kekana. In terms of the midfielders, it is Tebogo Mokoena, Jaden Adams, Pepelo Tole, Talente Mbata, and finally in terms of those forwards, it is Thembela Zwane, Oswin Apollos, Patrick Maswangani, Ikram Reiners, Elias Mokwana, Lyle Foster, and last but not least, Relebohile Mofokeng.
Well, Bafetu, as you can hear for yourselves, Uguti, the players have been selected, and yeah, so one with by performance. I'm happy with the selection. Uguti, some of the players, even though they are new, I know they're going to get that international experience. And with Rushwin Dortley, I'm happy because he's continuing with the form yake, even though we've had some. I don't want to talk much about it, but anyways, I'm happy. For me personally, I think I'm happy with the signing of this new scout and new chief of scout, and also what else? Yeah, Rushwin Dortley being selected. There's also the player that we currently need, Asimfuni Siamdinga, Fawaz Basadian, which is Naye, he's selected. So yeah, Bafetu, I think that's all that I had for you today. Later on, I will try to give you something, but it will depend if I have something, because definitely these days, there's nothing much that is happening at Nashorena. Onglugu they signed this guy. Hopefully, they will announce him soon. Okay, taking a look at some of the comments before the video. I have checked Matlepa says, I think it's a good signing because we were asking who is scouting at Kaizer Chiefs. Definitely, Nam I do think is a good signing, because definitely we did not know who was scouting ever since Walter Steenbeck left in 2022. This is Buz with who was in charge of the scouting department, but now it looks like finally we're gonna have someone who's decent. And then Brian Lovo says, hey Tada Q, for me he's a good signing. We should bear in mind that a good scout does not need a huge budget to bring in great players. Wow. You've said something I never thought of, but definitely that is true. You don't need a good budget as long as you can scout some players and right to scout the talent. And for me, I think this guy is going to cover us in terms of that. But thank you, Bafetu, for watching until the end. Ngizonibona later on with something new.